We're back to the DCEU movies.
Yay.
So,
I just I just love how forlorn you are about that,
oh,
Casey.
yeah,
You're like,
because of the image that I just saw. Well, a few days ago,
fair
the
enough.
Batgirl suit was revealed, and we got our first official look on a very rare instance of where the studio releases, costume reveal. We got the first official look at the Batgirl costume from the directors themselves and Leslie Grace, and I just did not like this at all. I just hated the texture. I hated the design. The color was good. I like the color, but again, it's kind of too bright. Um, but she looks good in it, and the cowl absolutely is perfect. The hair is also perfect. Um, I just don't like the leather jacket thing. So my initial reaction was pretty like it was kind of embarrassing to see this because of how one thing the DCU nailed is the costumes, right? Like every single costume is epic. Like even if you compare it to Marvel or any other thing, the DCU costumes are top tier. And when you see this, I understand it's homemade and it's the first suit, but still like it should look pleasing, right? And didn't look pleasing to me at all. So my initial reaction was that it's pretty bad. And yeah, I have no like I'm not a big Batgirl fan, and I'm not that big of a comic fan for Batgirl and stuff, and not even in the games or movies or whatever. So it didn't affect me that much, but really didn't like the suit. But yeah, I'm actually waiting for the actual suit that she will get from probably Bruce Wayne. That's what I'm looking forward to. But then again, the next day and a few days later, um, Batgirl film news, they dropped a behind the scenes, pic with someone on the set actually photographed from a distance, and this looks like so much better from the official pic, and it's just her out in the daylight, and I don't know, man. I think I would have had a different reaction if this was the first pick. I still don't like the leather jacket thing, but it at least looks good in in this lighting and in motion and stuff. So I'm kind of fine with it now, um, but I don't love it. So yeah, what was you guys' reaction on this?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead. I say go ahead.
Okay, thanks, man. Yeah. So I'm with you on that with the leather. I think we kind of had. I thought we had moved past from the days of leather
Right?
superhero costumes. You know what I mean? Like, remember back in the early 2000s, you had Daredevil, you had like Blade, and you had even the Nolan Batman films was always like they all wear leather costumes. X-Men even. So I thought we'd moved past that for once. But the second
And
thing
the
is
CW.
this, the official and the CW. Don't get me, dude. Don't get me started on CW cops. We could be here all night. So yeah. So this, but so the photo that I saw, like Leslie posted it on Instagram. Um, the photo came across as very Entertainment Weekly cover art to me. You know what I mean? Where like Entertainment Weekly cover art,
They
they always
always
had this
brighten
thing where like
color. They add color.
Brian, yeah, exactly. They broaden up the color and they kind of like they make the actors look really kind of like
Yeah.
weird and awkward, like the Terminator Genesis photo shoot. It looked really awkward. So I was not a fan of kind of like that kind of like kind of like release of it. But when we saw the set photos, I saw a photo of her like all of Leslie's Batgirl all bloodied up
Mm-hmm.
and walking away, and I looked at that and I said, "That's what the
Yeah.
first image should have been." It really should have. I mean, it really would have given kind of like kind of the vibe that this is Batgirl and she's a badass and she'll fight anybody that comes her way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I wanted. That's what I feel like that's the approach should have been. And instead they kind of like, the first image was just kind of like this very kind of like photo shooty type of look to it. So yeah, I do. Aside from that, I think the costume looks, you know, in terms of like the design aside from the leather, it looks fine. I do wish it was the black and yellow Batgirl design, because I think that design looks.
I think
a lot
the
cooler.
final suit will be that one. I think so. Yeah.
I hope so.
But I don't hate this
I hope
color
so.
because it's
But-
kind of unique to different, to Batman and different superheroes. I think the dark bluish purple kind of works when it's night. So yeah. But I think the final one will have
Yeah.
the black and gold because that's super awesome.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. So as far as I'm concerned, I think it's a fine fine look to it.
Yeah.
Just fine. Nothing. Not. I don't hate it. I don't think it's amazing. I just think it's just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't get annoyed over first looks like this. In motion, on camera, with all the movie effects, suits usually look a mile better. And I was talking to somebody before, talked about the CW suits when they put out a promotional image. That's the best that suit's ever going to look. And then when you watch it on the show, it's not as good. This is the worst that this suit's going to look to us. It's going to be way better in the movie and stuff like that. It should be. But I don't really mind like a progression of this suit. You know, she tries out the yellow cape, too bright, people can see me, stuff like that. I need to go to a black cape. You know, that's pretty cool because you never really think of villains or of heroes talking about those things. I can't wear these shoes. Look at the way they make me look. Or they're too bright, or people can see me jumping across the roof, stuff like that. So yeah, I think there's going to be a progression of her suit. And the one in the second kind of set photos that we got, it does look different to me. People were saying it's the same suit. It looks different to me.
It's a different suit.
And yeah, I prefer that one. But we don't know what the story is for the movie. We don't know what kind of journey that this Batgirl goes through. Why did she make this suit? Why does she have it? Or maybe she did trial and error with different suits. She could have had 3 different suits to check out if they work or not. Very much like Tobey Maguire in the Spider-Man movies before he got his iconic suit. He tried out a few of the different ones, So even Tom Holland had something similar too. Maybe even Andrew Garfield. They had different... Why would you want the character... Bring me back to Superman. Why would you want the character to be the character they're supposed to be day one?
Yeah.
It makes no sense because there is no room for improvement. Superman, Henry Cavill, Snyder was getting to his arc and stuff like that, but there's a reason he wasn't perfect in Man of Steel or even Batman v Superman. He was getting there. He was learning to be the character. I'm not saying Batgirl is as deep as that, but we don't know what the script is. We don't know what kind of journey she goes on, why she wears different suits. She could have different suits for different missions. That could make sense too.
In one of the images, that we showed here, she's wearing night vision goggles as well.
Yeah. And even Batfleck had his normal suit. He had his tactical suit. He had his suit for Superman. Why isn't Batgirl any different? She'll have different suits, and I'm sure Michael Keaton will come in.
Because she's now rich.
Yeah, true. But I'm sure Michael Keaton will come in and give her an upgraded suit, of course. That will look a million miles better or something like that. But yeah, look, it's a first look. It's not anything to be absolutely amazed by or anything, but it's fine to me. She's a year one Batgirl. She even used the year one Batgirl quote in her Instagram post. So yeah, it's a birth of the character. It's the origin of the character. I'm not going to be too hard on it. All that matters is that the film is good. If the film is good, then the suit really doesn't matter that much. They can always improve on it, and it's not really that much of a big deal. So
that's very true. Yeah, and also I would like to say that I am really enjoying everything that I've been seeing from this movie so far, from the behind the scenes photos and stuff that this page is putting out. The locations, the tone, the snow, Gotham and all that looks fantastic to me. And even the premise, the characters that are in it, J.K. Simmons Gordon, Keaton's Batman. I don't know how that all is going to play out, but apart from that, I'm actually liking everything that I'm hearing from this. The only two times I've been disappointed from this movie, but now I'm over it, was that Ben Affleck wasn't going to be in this, and the first suit reveal. But apart from that, I've been loving everything that I've been seeing. I think Snowy Gotham, I think, is a very cool aesthetic that a movie should have. BVS almost got that. We missed out there, but finally we are getting it here. So I'm interested to see how this movie looks.
I'm more curious about
Oh, yeah.
Firefly's costume. To
Firefly
be honest.
too. He's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious. Are they gonna give Brendan the jetpack and everything, or are they just
think
gonna
so.
like, just,
Wouldn't he have to have that?
I mean, they have to. I mean, that is kind of like that's kind of like one of the
Yeah.
trademarks of Firefly is that he flies around and burns things.
Oh, dude, have you seen the recent set thing video that they put out?
Yeah, when he's just like walking
Yeah.
away from the explosion. Yeah, that was super.
Yeah, it
super
was
dope,
cool.
man.
So yeah, like I said, everything, and she even looks good in there. Like at night, her costume doesn't look cheap or that bright of blue or purple. It kind of looks dark and almost close to black. So yeah, she looks pretty
Yeah.
good. And the camera mostly would be in the upper half anyway. So what matters is her face and cowl. And they nailed that. I think this cowl is even better than Robert Pattinson's cowl. But yeah, she looks very good.
The film as well, it's like it's kind of, it seems all natural. I don't see too many green screens.
Yes.
Or, there will be kind of some aspects of that.
They
VFX, of
completely
course,
changed Glasgow into
Yeah.
Gotham.
and natural
amazing.
light. You got stuff like just using the environment. It's a real place they're shooting at instead of a soundstage and stuff like that. So yeah, that's cool as well. That's going to add to the film
Mhm.
big time.
I remember the directors at Fandom. They were saying kind of like they wanted to go for a very gritty, realistic
Yeah.
type of film. So I think that does lend credence to the fact that you don't see any green screens around. You see actual explosions and more, I guess, down to dirty type of
Yeah, and
fighting.
Firefly, I think, will be like the mob type of character. And especially him playing it, that would be amazing. And I always like these stories with Batman and Gotham stories to have that, mob aspect to it, because I kind of like that feel that Batman Begins has and Gotham has, Falcone, Maroni, and all that. I just love those crime families being part of the Batman story. So if he is that kind of character, that would be awesome.